Hello, Zenith. This is your host, E.T., with another astrology video for you. In today's video, I am going to be talking about the wonderful sign of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. It is a mutable sign. It is the finale of the zodiac. It is where all things come to an end. It really represents the moment of death and reincarnation and the in-between phases of that. When we think about the alchemical process, the phase in which Pisces represents is the diffusion, the osmosis, right? The sun comes up and the morning dew is lifted and creates this cloud. That water that rises, that ascends to source, to the sun, towards the light, that more or less is what the energy of Pisces is all about. It's a very spiritual sign. Ruler, Neptune. Ancient ruler, Jupiter. Neptune does not take orders from Saturn. Capricorn and Aquarius, they're a little different. They're under the bounds of Saturn. Capricorn more so because of the Earth. Aquarius a little less because it's in the mind. There's still the structure, the Saturnian energy in the mind, but it has Uranus to lean on. Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. Very optimistic, spiritual, and I would even say benevolent, even though Neptune itself has quite a bit of darkness. Everything's got a dark side. Everything has a light side, you know? So, let's talk about some of the darker things about Pisces or Neptune. Its modern ruler, and that would be addiction. Neptune is the god of illusion, right? Poseidon, god of the ocean. This is a water sign, but it's a mutable sign. Be like water. Those with Mars and Pisces, they will have a gift in martial arts. The fluidness of their movements. Pisces is a very intuitive sign. So Neptune really represents it's the higher octave of Venus. It represents the other world, where Venus, once again, is the sensual senses, right? Touch, taste, smell. Venus, right? Neptune is spiritual senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, psychic intuition, these types of things, However, Neptune also represents illusion and confusion, and this is some of the darker aspects of Neptune and Pisces. Addictions, getting caught up in that fantasy, being, addicted to that fantasy, to be manic, to be all one way, whether it's light or dark, it's imbalance. We need balance. We need holistic health, which means we all need something different to balance our energy out and field. But Pisces is a very special sign. I think it's a very fun sign. I've got a lot of Pisces, not only in my life, but in my own chart. So I'm kind of speaking from some deep experience here. Pisces, you need to learn boundaries, straight up. Because with Pisces, there's no boundaries. With Neptune, there's no boundaries. There's no Saturn. Saturn doesn't exist. The boundaries aren't there. The limitations, the border between this country and that country, they don't exist. We are all one. And Pisces knows this. And so therefore, they really have no boundaries, which means they need to learn it for themselves in order to be happy. So yeah, total lack of boundaries, total caught up in codependencies, oh, I can't do this because of blah, 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 and you are making me, whatever. Very sensitive, very emotional, almost too sensitive, right? Sometimes it's good to have a bit of a thick skin, or at least understand that not everything is about you. But you don't need to take everything so personally, because people are walking around with traumas and all this BS they've accumulated their entire lives, and they're just resonating in this way that has nothing to do with you. So they're going to try and dump their garbage on you. They're going to try and do this, that, and the other. And Pisces needs to not absorb it. Or at least Pisces needs to learn how to let it go as quickly as they absorb it. Because it's a very intuitive sign. It's a very psychic sign. It's a very absorbing sign. Venus does very well here, exalted in Pisces, right? Because Venus comes from the ocean. Venus comes from Poseidon. No, just kidding. Neptune is one of the freaks of nature that occurs from Uranus's castration into the ocean, right? So Poseidon and Venus are very much linked, and Aphrodite comes to us on this shell. So a little bit of why Venus is so wonderful here. She's in her, she's comfortable in this placement. So, unconditional love is a big thing. Artistry. Pisces is such a great artist. They have such a wonderful, friendly nature, as well as a creative, expressive side. I've noticed, you would typically think Cancer, Cancer's the great cook, da-da-da-da-da. I've noticed that Pisces is an amazing cook. Maybe that's just me picking up on something. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But I've had a lot of Pisces energies that they know how to get down in the kitchen. And why is that? I don't know. Maybe it's the unconditional love that they're pouring into their creation, their creativity with this kind of energy. Super fun, more or less wrapped up in the arts. Jupiter is so expansive and is guru, is enlightening, right? So these people are very supportive. They can be excellent supporters, very other-oriented. Some of the greatest artists are Pisces. And they have natural healing abilities. Their osmosis, their ability to absorb and be like the morning dew. I think that these people can really resonate in a place of unconditional love. And that's their nature, and that's the end-all, be-all thing, When this life is over, when the veil decides to leave, and we see it is what it is for what it is. This illusion of separation, it doesn't exist. It really doesn't. But it's here for a reason. Saturn is here for a reason. Shaitan is here for a reason. I have my physical vessel for a reason. It's going to carry my spirit. And I would say that Pisces is more of that spirit than that third dimensional thing. So there can be a lot of wounding with some of the more hard, edgy, third dimensional kind of situations. Very creative, very fun. Can be very sensitive, especially with the Pisces moon. And, and then if you have heavy 12th house stuff too, then you also have Pisces. And I just want to speak a little bit on this because the 12th house is unknown. It's a big mystery. We don't really know what happens. That's like the attic that we forgot about. It has our, great uncle's banjo that we forgot about from a different era. The 12th house is the attic, right? It's where we just forget about this stuff, but it's always there. So People with heavy 12th house placements have that Piscean energy, and I would like to say that what's happening is that they are connected. That is the house of hidden enemies, by the way. So be careful. You have lots of 12th house stuff. Watch out. Pay attention. Don't be a fool. Not everyone is who they pretend to be. But so heavy 12th house energies, besides the fact that you're accumulating secret enemies, these people are connected to higher realms, higher dimensions, the unconscious collective, the energy of humanity as a whole. People with heavy 12th house stuff can go through crazy feelings and emotions, very empathic. And I would say that these folks need to understand that sometimes what you feel, sometimes da-da-da-da-da, especially about your human design, or, depending on what your makeup really is about. You have to understand that some of this emotion, some of this feeling, some of this things that are going through your body, they're not yours. It's coming from the collective. It's coming from someone close to you, maybe even near you in your aura. You have to understand this, or you don't have to, but it will help you to understand if you're extremely empathic, if you're extremely sensitive. Some of these things I have been called, and it's true. Perhaps you have a psychic superpower. Perhaps what you're feeling isn't even you, but you're feeling the depth into someone else, very intimately, to the point where they may not even be conscious of it. They may not even be aware of it, because the 12th house is the unconscious. It's not the subconscious, the 8th house that's in control of everything. The subconscious mind is directing 90% of our action. The 12th house, the unconscious, we are not even aware. It's so close, we can't even see it. So it can be maddening. You can, if you're really in tune with this, you really, face your solitude, Pisces, and heal all your codependency. This is very important as we transition from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. We're becoming more independent. We don't need codependent relationships or toxic relationships anymore. But if you can be in your solitude and heal your codependency, and then you get really good at determining what's your emotion and what's someone else's, which is not easy. It may take a few more years of Jedi training. You start to have a superpower, and you start to be able to pick up on things, like I'm saying, that people aren't even aware of. And they may not even be aware of it until 5 years later, 10 years later, 30 years later, the next lifetime. It's not my business. It's not your business. The point is protect yourself. Don't be codependent. Have proper boundaries. And understand what's yours and what isn't yours. And if you're someone that's experiencing a lot of penetration from the unconscious collective energy, do creative arts therapy. Do things that are going to center and ground yourself. Have a system to where you can really protect your energy from the whatever BS is going around you, and understand that it's a superpower. And don't be, it's one thing to be aware of it, but you don't need to necessarily shove that around everyone's throat, shove that down everyone's throat, because a lot of things, like I'm saying, they're in the unconscious. People are not going to be aware of them. And then last but not least, Pisces, I'm going to be hard on you. Quit being a victim. And thank you for existing, Pisces. Very magical sign, very auspicious energy. This is very brief overview, all these archetypes of the zodiac. You want to go even deeper into your situations. You need to learn and understand the nakshatras of all of these planets, especially where your moon is. You know, this is very important. If you would like a detailed reading from me, if you would like to learn more about your chart, please book a reading with me. I'm very excited to read for all of you. You can send me an email at the link below, or just message me on Instagram or Facebook or any social media that I have going on. I am not that hard to contact. Music, art, creativity, all Piscean things, all wonderful things. Escapism isn't bad. You know, as an artist, that's something that I've actually learned, that it's a gift. We have been given the gift to allow people to escape their reality. You know, we get to be the drug. Pisces can be that drug. But that's a different energy than taking the drug, you know, and being an addict versus being the escapism for others, you know, and who knows, maybe that's a rabbit hole to go down with as well. But the point is that Pisces energy is about escape. It's about fantasy, it's about art, it's about creativity, it's about unconditional love. And you know what? Make sure to show that to yourself, Pisces, by having proper boundaries and healing your codependency in proper solitude. And I just want to add, in order to do that, instead of what you can do is figure out your love languages, I believe there's 5, and provide them for yourself. You know, don't reach out to someone who is going to provide this for you. I'm not saying that's bad, but if you're constantly codependent, then you're constantly going to be attracting toxic relationships to you. You can't level up. And the way to level up is to evolve in your solitude so that you're resonating at a higher frequency and therefore attracting higher frequencies into your realm. Okay, we have officially moved off the topic of Pisces. You guys book a reading with me, book a human design reading with me. I think I got into that a little bit as far as some of the open centers and things, you know, being very empathic and very connected to the unconscious collective. You know, whether it's their emotions or their feelings, their thoughts, you know, and even inspiration. Pisces, you have a superpower. You have the ability to, you know, tap into that collective field of consciousness and create from it. You know, be creative from that. So it's a beautiful thing. Thank you guys for watching to the end of this video. Reach out to me. Would love to read for you. Astrology, synastry, human design, whatever. Astrocartography, whatever you want. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.